All right. Scalar interference, babes. It's time. It's also time. Not sponsored, so. But Mountain Dew if you love your girl. Your girl loves you. Even though I know it's terrible for me. I need some energy to get through these 84 freaking pages. 7 documents. Ay, 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 ay. The government has had access to global weather modification and the ability to harness/harvest, whatever you want to call it, your energy from anywhere at any time, all across the globe, no matter how deep underground you are, no matter what you do to try to block it, according to the declassified documents on scalar interference from the CIA.gov website. Yeah, I found 7 documents today with 84 pages that I want to go through with you guys. The biggest one at the end is 43 pages, so I don't know if we're going to get through all of that or if I'm going to make that document its own live. Because last time I have read that one document out of these 7, I have read that one, the 43-page one. And it took me about 4 or 5 hours to get through all of it because I had so much to say about all of it, and just it's 43 pages. So it was a lot, but there's a lot in here. So I'm really curious to see what these other 6 documents that I have not yet read are going to contain, because holy shit, the things that I know and have seen and have read. I'll also show you guys the diagrams if I see anything interesting come up. I do have big monitor over here. I don't know if you guys can boop all of my various bisexual beverages as per usual as well. But I'll show you guys on big screen if there's anything interesting that comes up that I see that I think is of note and you guys would like to see. Move it over a little bit if I can. There we go. There we go. But yeah, there's a lot, so let's get into it. The first one is a handwritten note on scalar waves. I'm gonna have that nerd glass thing going on because I've got 2 screens in front of me and then you guys, and then I also have a light up here, but you can't really, that little dot is my light, so we'll see. But yeah, handwritten note on scalar waves. It is 1 page, and it's all in, like, really shitty old man cursive. But luckily for me, I was in school in the time where they taught cursive, so I can read all of the cursive that's on all of these weird little CIA documents. Which I think that's another little side note that I'm gonna say just as we're starting this. I think it's very weird slash on purpose that they no longer teach cursive in schools. Because think of how many of the documents, like the declassified CIA documents, or, like the founding documents of this country, are written in cursive. So if you lose the ability to read cursive, you lose the ability to access part of your own language and part of your own rights and your founding and your history and the things that are being done in the dark like this. So no such thing as coincidence. It's all on purpose. Let's get into it. So let's see. This was approved for release. What would that be? August 15th of 2000. And this is probably something from the 50s. It usually takes them anywhere from 20 to 50 years to declassify these things. And this says, this paper develops the idea that information exchange between biofields is characterized by the fact that the transfer of information involves no direct expenditure of energy. To explain this, the authors postulate that the carrier of the information is a scalar wave. A scalar wave is not an electromagnetic wave, which has both electric and magnetic fields, but one in which both electric and magnetic fields equal 0, i.e., the fields do not. What does that say? Does it say rely? Something I can't read that because this guy's cursive is bad. The fields do not something with time. They also postulate that the brain generates scalar waves, which I don't remember if that's in the 43-page document that we're gonna get into, or if that's one of the ones I've already. No, actually, that was from the CIA's declassified, their stuff on the. I'm trying to think of what it is right now. The gateway process, the analysis and assessment of the gateway process that I read with you guys. Hello, friend. Thank you for joining. But yeah, that was in there talking about how the brain. I don't think it specifically mentioned generating scalar waves, but it did mention that our brains bounce around whenever our biofields are connected or something like that. Go watch the thing. I'll link that on here. But yeah, that's so interesting. Okay. What does that say? Do not vary with time? I think that's what that's what it says. Okay, the fields do not vary with time. So time has no effect on scalar interference, which is interesting because we also know time is not real. Interesting. Okay. I feel like there's something I'm supposed to take from this alone. The transfer of information involves no direct expenditure of energy. That's what I was telling you guys about at the beginning, how they can harvest and harness our energy from anywhere at any time, no matter how deep underground you are, with no energy loss. It's because it's through scalar interference. There is no possibility to lose energy if it's outside of time space as we understand it. All right, so that's the first one of the 7. Now we've got number 2, which is a 3-page document that just says scalar waves. And this one was approved for release in March 7th of 2001. And it says from DT/ACO, and then it's redacted and it has SG1J, which, wait, that's gotta be something we can FOIA log request, because I swear to God, that's an acronym that was on one of the other ones, one of the other redacted documents that we read together. It was that same SG1J. I need to start like writing these down, but I don't even know how to begin to catalog all of this. It also says confidential / no foreign at the top. And then it says to DT and then in parentheses, Dr. Vorona. Subject scalar waves, which I guess is short for reference, verbal request for summary statement on scalar waves. And then it says 1, and then it has C in parentheses. I feel like that's important. Oh, that's the confidential that's at the top. Okay. Oh, so there's part of it. I see the numbers. Some say C and some say C/NF. So it's like part of it is only confidential and part of it is confidential / no foreign. And I'm not sure what no foreign is. Actually, wait a second. That was something that was on one of these other ones that I saw at the top as I pulled it up for you guys. What was it? It said something about not releasable to foreign nationals. That's on the 25-page document that I have for you guys. So I think that's what that means. Not releasable to foreign nationals. I think that's what no foreign is. Which is wild and really is making me think. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Arrival. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. Awesome movie. But that's like a whole thing, is these pods land on like a bunch of different countries, and all of the countries are working together at first, and then they start getting weird and secretive and withholding information. That's exactly what they're doing here. Could you imagine how much more advanced we would be as a species if we didn't have all this weird stuff going on in the dark, where all of these countries aren't talking to each other and all of this knowledge is being withheld from the general public? Imagine how much more interconnected and intelligent we could be as a species. There's no need for suffering. There's no need for any of the things in this fake society if they didn't withhold information like this. So 1C, I'm also noticing there's like a 37 or an 87 at the top of the page that's handwritten in. So I don't know if that means that these are missing pages, because we have found missing pages in these before that I think we can also FOIA log request. But 1C, per reference, the writer will provide a summary below of his understanding of the nature of scalar waves. These are unconventional waves that are not necessarily a contradiction to Maxwell's equations, as some have suggested, but might represent an extension to Maxwell's understanding at the time. If realizable, the scalar wave could represent a new form of wave propagation that could penetrate seawater, making me think of Project Rainbow and that weird dream I had that I told you all about, resulting in a new method of submarine communications and possibly a new form of technology for ASW. Not sure what ASW is. Thus, the potential applications are of high interest to the US R&D community, also not sure what that is, and the intelligence community, particularly if some promise is shown to their realizability. Which, if there's the 84 pages at least on this, and I told you guys at the beginning, they can harness our energy with this stuff anywhere at any time with no energy loss. They found uses for it. They've been expanding and doing crazy shit with it for a very long time. They don't just do all of this work and then go, oh, We actually found nothing. Psych. Psych, we're playing with you. We're just goofing with you. They found stuff and they're doing very evil stuff with it behind the scenes. Like supervillain evil stuff. 2, this one is labeled C/NF. There is a community in the US that believes that the scalar waves are realizable. In a recent conference sponsored by the IEEE, which is something Sabrina Wallace mentions, y'all should look into all of that. These were openly discussed and a proceedings of the conference exists. The conference was dedicated to Nikola Tesla and his work. They've been studying his shit. They stole all of his paperwork once he died. And the papers presented claimed some of Tesla's work used scalar wave concepts. Thus, there is an implied Tesla connection in all of this. And then the entire rest of the paragraph is blacked out. Whoa. And it's labeled as SG1B on both sides. So again, I think this is something we can FOIA log request and see if we can get this. Because what were they about to tell us about the Tesla connection? What do they know that Tesla knew? There's so much to all of this. Ooh, this one's got a new label on it. It says 3 and then U in parentheses. Don't know what that means. The scalar wave, as the writer understands, is not an electromagnetic wave. An electromagnetic EM wave has both electric E fields and magnetic B fields, and power flow in EM waves is by means of the I don't know if I'm saying that right, Poynting vector as follows. S with the line over it equals E with the line over it times B with the line over it watts per, I'm guessing meters squared. It says M squared. I don't know what else M squared could be in that, but also meters and watts don't feel like they go together. So if y'all have an idea, let me know. The energy per second crossing a unit area whose normal is oriented in the direction of S with the line over it is the energy flow in the EM wave. A scalar wave has no time varying B field. Like I told y'all in that first document that we just read, scalar interference does not care about time. It is not at all connected to how we view time, because how we view time is false. We've been entrained into a system to think of it as this linear thing when it's more like this flowing Mobius strip flower of life thing we don't fully understand. It's constantly moving and bending and folding and can be condensed and collapsed in ways we don't understand yet. Or at least we do, but it's probably in more of these declassified documents from the 50s and we got to read into it because it's not publicly available information en masse yet. It's been released and hidden in the corners of the internet. Let's see. In some cases, so it has no time varying B field, and then in some cases it also has no E field, which is crazy because that's the electric field. So it just behaves completely differently than anything else is what I'm understanding, kind of like plasma intelligence. Thus, it has no energy propagated in the EM waveform. It must be recognized, however, that any vector could be added that could integrate to 0 over a closed surface, and the Poynting theorem still applies. Thus, there is some ambiguity in even stating S with the line over it equals E with the line over it times B with the line over it is the total EM energy flow. Oh, that's interesting. They break it. I don't know if is that a point? I don't know why they do that. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I was reading that wrong. Okay. 4, and this is also labeled as U. I, again, don't know what the U means because it's not the confidential or no foreign nationals. Not sure. The scalar wave could be accompanied by a vector potential A with the line over it and E with the line over it, and yet B with the line over it remains 0 from in the far field. I don't understand what that means. That is over my head. From EM theory, we can write as follows. A lot of very complicated math stuff that I'll show you guys in just a second. Because, yeah, that's all that's on that page. Or, well, all that's right there. And then it says always is written, like handwritten on the side with a little squiggly. In this case, 0 is the scalar electric potential, and A with the line over it is the magnetic vector potential. Maxwell's equations then predict another equation about scalar potential waves, and then another equation about vector potential waves. And then it says a solution appears to exist for the special case of E with the line over it equals 0, B with the line over it equals 0, and triangle that's upside down times A equals 0. For a new wave satisfying equations I don't understand, S then satisfies equations I don't understand. Mathematically, S is a potential with a wave equation, one that suggests propagation of this wave even through E with the line over it equals B with the line over it equals 0. And the Poynting theorem indicates no EM power flow. So let me show you guys flip you guys over and show you all of the oh wait, was that, can I show you guys like actually? There we go, we'll show you the big screen. That's the equations that it gives us and how it says always written on the side. I don't understand what that means. I don't understand the math behind that, but it feels important to show you guys in case some of y'all do. Because I know I got some other math nerds and science nerds out here in my various collectives. We've reached enough across enough countries and enough millions of y'all. There's a lot of people who understand this a lot better than I do. And if y'all know how to break it down into better terms in the comments, go nuts. I love y'all for that. And then 5, also with a U. It seems like all of these after this have U instead of that C or NF. I'm not sure why that differentiates, but it's important. All of this is important somehow on the back end to whoever's declassifying and classifying all of this information. From paragraph 4 above, there is the suggestion of a solution to Maxwell's equations involving a scalar wave with potential S that can propagate without Poynting vector EM power flow. But the question arises as to where the energy is drawn from to sustain such a flow of energy. For some reason, this is feeling really important right now to point out the global interconnectedness of all of the old world stuff that I've been showing you guys, with all of the books the book covers that I've shown you guys that I still need to get into with you guys and like deep dive. It's somehow connected to all of the old world architecture and the pyramids and the temples and all of the different column types, because all of the different column types transmit and transmute energy differently. And all of the copper domes and the spires and all of the different metal statues and all of the fountains, all of it's connected to water and piezoelectricity and the flow of energy. So they're talking about where energy can be drawn from. In the old world, energy was drawn from everywhere. It was drawn from the buildings themselves, from the rivers, from the streams, from the mountains, which I think are all just buildings that were toppled and destroyed in some way, shape, or form. It seems like we had an entire flowing system of energy. I don't know if it was necessarily going off of scalar interference or if it was just free energy or if it was something else.